Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here. We have got table topper. We're on block 7 for the table topper quilt along. We are on the next section of Secret Lives of Color, and that'll be block number 60. And it's also the last pattern that you get for the Make-A-Wish quilt along, the heartfelt. And so let's first do that. So the charity quilt along for Make-A-Wish, this is your backing. Now this is the backing on my quilt, which is already done and at the Fat Quarter Shop. Gina Tell quilted it for charity, and so it will be up for auction. Let's take a look at the backing up on my wall. Well, there's nothing like putting it up on the wall upside down. So let me just switch that around a minute. There, that's better. So how fabulous is that? This is the backing for the heartfelt charity quilt for Make-A-Wish, the very last part that you're doing. Now, I hope you'll make the backing. I know that it's when you have the project and it's long and you get towards the end, sometimes you don't want to do the extra work, but it is just so spectacular. It makes the quilt so awesome. If you were doing like a sort of a backing for like a wedding quilt or an anniversary quilt, this would be fantastic for people to put their signatures on. If you didn't want the signatures on the front and you want it on the back, wouldn't this be awesome? Or like a special birthday or a graduation, one of those, retirement, all of those kind of big things. This would be such a cool backing for any kind of quilt where you want to do signatures. I just think it'd be fabulous. So there we go. Ta-da! Oh, so much fun. Here, I'll let you see it from the top to the bottom again. Backings are big. Oh, on my website, I also have a photo of it where it was hanging out on my clotheslines. You could take a look at that. And I believe this is the Love Bug block, just expanded, which is a perfect name. And I'll keep you updated on when the auction will go up. So that is so exciting. It is a really fun backing to do. You could just take that giant heart, and wouldn't it be that darling baby quilt? Just the heart. So cute. Or just do 4 of them, or 6, like a 2x3. That would be a nice, really lap size with a, yeah, you can do lots of things. Just because it's used on the back for this project doesn't mean it couldn't just be a standalone by itself. So darling. All right, I know that a lot of you are still making your blocks for the charity quilt along, so I can't wait for you to share some of them. And if you make the piece backing, share that too. Okay, Secret Lives of Color. Our section here, we go into the brown section. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So the Secret Lives of Color, we are now into the brown section. So here's the book, and the section is brown. So at the beginning of each section, there is a write-up about the color in general. One little phrase I thought was interesting here is that brown suffers. It really does. It suffers in part because it is not a hue, but a shade. It is not found in a rainbow or on a simple color wheel, making it requires darkening and graying down yellows, oranges, and some impure reds, or mixing together the 3 artist primaries, red, yellow, and blue. So that's an interesting thing, and I find it fascinating what she decided to include and not include, with the Secret Lives of Color. I like brown. I don't have a ton of brown, and I don't use a ton of brown right now. I tend to use it with projects, certain, families of fabrics, but I just always keep a little bit of it, and you will see it. There is some brown over in my French General also, which I will raid looking for the colors. So if I don't have quite the shade, I'll go in the basket here. I will go hunting over there. So we're going to start out. The shades are khaki, buff, fallow, russet, sepia, umber, mummy, and taupe. So we're going to start out with khaki today. Let's see, let me get to the khaki page here. Yeah, so here we go. So khaki, I think a lot of us can just visualize khaki slacks. I think that's a you know, a color we can visualize. And of course, the shades of khaki slacks are sort of darker to lighter. And the khaki color comes from the military. Just before, I guess, World War I, maybe some prior, the British were trying to basically camouflage themselves in the Pakistan wars. And so they wanted clothing that looked more like the desert. And then it eventually evolved and was kind of the precursor to camouflage uniforms for our military. So that's khaki. So let's see what we got. I have, and I'm going to be making the tiny block because I already have 2 blocks left over from green for row 5, which is our last row. So I will be on the smallest block. And my brown section shares with my purple. So you can see in my color family that I keep, this is it for purple and brown. Like I said, I do have some browns mixed in with some other things, and there's probably like a piece of purple here and there, maybe with a fat quarter bundle I have saved off, that kind of a thing. But I'm looking for, I've got my browns right now sort of shaded, the darker in the back, the lighter ones in the front. So we're going to pull out the lighter ones so that we can get a nice khaki color. I'm just going to see what I have here. Pull them out. And this is the best way to do it. Rather than trying to just look at the top of your bin like this, where something might got smushed down and you missed it, just pull a section out so that you can really see the fabric. See, now these are going too dark. So I've got the khaki here. So the khaki, well, they're not too dark. So like this is pretty much spot on, that particular fabric. So anything that's close to that one is going to be, now see, that one's much lighter, which the next color is buff, and so that's more buff. All right, so I think these 3 are my khakis, which are, I think of khaki a tiny bit more yellow, like it would have been more yellowy, but that's the shade she's got for khaki. And I kind of like these little guys here, so I think I'm going to use that one. So that's what I'm going to go with. There we go. And I will probably pull all my browns and get all of those cut for all the brown section and sewn up over the next week or so, so I have them all done. Because we have a busy month of sewing, and I found that I really like just sort of getting all those churn dashes set up. I mean those shoe fly blocks rather, set up so that I can get them made. So let me make the khaki block. And I'm on the baby block, the littlest one, and all my little ones are aqua background with the color. So that khaki does look really good with that very light aqua. I've got 2 aqua fabrics. So this is the one with the little star, which I think was one of Bev's fabrics, my friend Bev. All right. The next block that we do for the tantalizing table toppers sew along, where we're doing a sampler, we're taking 1 block from each of the projects in here. So let me show you, we are on summertime. Look. This is such a fun little table runner to do. It's super easy. You don't have to do the applique on the ends, but aren't they cute? Look at that. Look at the little birdie with the little berries. So I'm going through picking out the fabric, and let me show you the block, and then we'll go talk about picking out the fabric for it. So here's mine. All right, let's go to the back side. So summertime is crisp blue and white in the book, but even in our quilt, I am going to go ahead for the sampler and use blue and white. Because that sort of balances out. Like I want to have the left side is the blue, pink, blue. I'll do the right side blue, pink, blue, and then I'll alternate it so there's more pink on the top and the bottom. But what I want to do is get more of that yellow in and bring it in on this block. The center part of the star will be this floral, which has a lot of yellow. So I want to be sure when I cut that center, I get a lot of the blocks that have yellow, like this one and that one. And then I'm going to use this one for the background. This is one that has a blue base to the scattered design. Then the points will be the stripe, which again has yellow. And then the chain effect will be the squares. And so this is a nice cheerful yellow. It's very cheerful, but when you use it in small pieces, it doesn't have sort of that bright a pop, but it has a good pop. So that means using it multiple times through the quilt will let your eyes sort of see that glow of the yellow all around. For the chain on the block, since we're only making one block, we don't need to cut that whole length of fabric because that's super wasteful. So instead, I've cut just a small section of the yellow. I didn't have enough to, I could have gone somewhere else on the fabric, but I was being kind of frugal, so I just used a piece that was already there and then cut a smaller piece. And so I will sew these, which is, you know, a lot. I think I made this about 9 inches or so. That gives me a little wiggle room. And then I've got these 2 pieces. So I can sew those, press them open, and then I'll be subcutting the 2 patches, and then sewing the 2 patches from this. So it's a lot more forgiving of your fabric. You won't have this wasteful strip hanging around that you may not use again. Here's a star ready to sew. I've got these 4 patches with the yellow, and it's just the right amount of yellow. So that is awesome. I love it. So now this will be done. Okay, I'm going to put this up on the wall here. Let's see how it looks. And I have it, let's see. Yeah, whoops, there's a pin there. Okay, so it'll be positioned out here. And I will be using the light color, like what's between all the stripes here. That's my sort of sashing for everything. And I'm trying to limit that in the blocks so that the blocks have very little of that. And it's really just, used mostly for the sashing. Like I did the flower, I had it over there, but I'm trying not to do that. So it was really fun to use one of the light prints from Birdsong for the background of this one. Looks good. Now you could take the little birdie. Isn't he darling? He's like chubby. I loved drawing him, this little chubby guy. Now I think it might be cute. What if you just put a little bird here, like sitting in the middle? I might have to do that. What color would he be? Would you want a pink bird? A pink bird, like with the solid pink, maybe his body would be the solid pink, and then a print for the wing, and the tail would be a different print. Yeah, that might be super cute. So I'm gonna think on that. I might do that. You never know, I just might. All right, so these are a couple things. Now we had Wednesday coming up is the next Block Wednesday. So that will be running through till the very last Wednesday in November. And it is called Hometown Charms, like all the charming things about your hometown. And I want to show you again what I'm using, the fabrics that I'm using. Hold on. Because if you've not gotten yours ready, you can start thinking about it. There is a supply list out there, and I'm using a fat quarter bundle. This is Adidas Sitars. It is, I think, Lady Tulip is what it's called. And there's, I have a light, and then I added in a few other pieces, and I bought the tulip fabric to go for the border on mine. It's super gorgeous, just gorgeous. So I'm excited about this one. What I'll be doing for Hometown Charms is each week there'll be some sort of thing that goes on in your hometown, some to generate memories and what are to celebrate the wonderful things. And I've asked the ambassadors to give some of their thoughts about their hometowns. Now they aren't all going to answer each week. I think it'll vary, but we'll have several of them through the whole project, and I will have their responses at the website post. So I'll have my part in the pattern write-up just like I always do, and then the ambassadors, I'll have them listed like under the video at my website or under the block, whichever, and I'll find one place so it'll always be there. And I just think that'll be super fun. You can get to know them a little bit more, and it's just a really nice way to get a variety of memories of just what makes our hometown so special, what makes it charming. I have a fun thing that's coming up. The Spooky Box. Fat Quarter Shop sent me an early one, and it's darling. Now you go in, sign up, you do a reserve, and then when the box comes in, you pay for it. You'll get an email, but you can go in and reserve yours. These are super limited. They do the reserve so they know, about how many to make. There often are no left or very, very few. So if you're interested, go and get them. Cute orange box. Okay, and I also have a mail call, so let me do that. Mail calls are fun. Every single part of mail call is fun. From the card, and this is from Karen. Look how cute this is. Friend. Okay, so she sent me some goodies. What? Look at this. Look, look, look. Pumpkin pin cushions. Ah, need one of those in real life. These are so cute. She sent me another really wonderful fabric. Look at this buildings. I love these sort of fabrics that have villages and towns, hometown charms. There we go. It's got the thread shop. Look how cute that is. And she sent me some more turquoise squares for the blocks. And look, 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 look. But look at the back. It's one of her orphan blocks. Isn't that darling? So from her parts center. This came from the parts center. And then she put a super cute little owl. Look at that guy. Can you see him? Oh, there he is. Look how cute he is. Everything came in here. Thank you. Mwah. This is all so amazing. Miss Llama over here. Let me get her. Okay. So this was the gift from Peggers. So cute. So I asked about names. You came up with a lot of really clever, cute names, such as, a lot of them were starting with L. So if you want to name your child or your pet with an L name, look at the comments. Luna, Lucy, Lola, Lula. Lola was my brother's dog's name for a while. Lily, Larry the llama. Larry's my dad, so I just can't use the same name people I know. But Larry Llama would be super darn cute, and he I was thinking it looked like a girl, but it could be Larry. Peg, to name it after the lady who made it for me. Sophia, Nellie, Shamalama, what's Shamalama Boom Boom? That's from a song, right? So I am going to go with Dalai Lama because I just think that cracks me up. And we had Norm, so now we have Dalai Lama, and I just think that that's so adorable. Super, super cute. All right, my friend, you have your table topper block to do and your Secret Lives of Color. Where is it? Over here. Your Secret Lives of Color. So both are really nice, easy blocks to ease into the holiday weekend. I will see you again on video Tuesday. So I will take a few days for the holiday, and I will be on Facebook. So there you go. You can see me there. I will post what's going on or what I'm working on or doing, and I don't know what that will be. I do know I have to write some patterns, so I do have to do some work, but video-wise, we'll take a little break, and I'll see you on Tuesday. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.